And then there came a day like many others. The best Flarking podcast. Your nerd's eye view of TV, film, comics, and video games. With you as always, your mother Flarking hosts, Dunners and Reach. Fellas, show them who they're Flarking with.
Hello, people of the multiverse. It is that time again. It's the best Flarking podcast. This is episode 29 on this gorgeous July 13th, 2016. I am your host, Adam Dunn, and with me, as always, my co-host, the Reegmeister McReegington. Reeg.
Yo.
Reeg, how you doing?
I'm doing
all right?
Awesome. I'm sore right now. Legs, walking.
All the walking.
Many a poke walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that crazy thing came out.
Yeah, we're both playing the game, and it's funny because the reaction has been like overwhelmingly positive and overwhelmingly negative. It's great to watch.
It is.
So many people will be like, "Hey, I fucking love this thing. I'm out here meeting strangers, walking around, having fun." And then other people be like, "Hey, that shit's dumb, and you're a stupid idiot for playing it." And it's like, okay. I don't see how that has any bearing on your entire life whatsoever, but
yeah.
Sick,
there's almost
bro.
three sides to it. The third side of the conspiracy theorists, that it's all the government's plan to, I guess, I don't even know what the fuck
it's
their
the government's
plan would be. What is your argument there on these government
down.
conspiracies?
Well, everyone's like, they're taking all of our data, and they're checking all of our data, and they're like, well, they already fixed that. That's not a thing anymore. Yeah, but I still feel like they're doing it. It's like, oh, all right, well then quit playing. I can. I'm super into it. I mean, all I know is I've walked over 20 miles in 4 days, which is more than I normally walk in those 4 days. So I feel good about it. I've had a bunch of random conversations with strangers, and I haven't seen more people out on the street just genuinely happy to be wandering around in my adult life. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Pokemon Go is most certainly a positive. You can feel differently. If you do feel differently, you're more than entitled to let us know in the comments about why you think that. But then you will probably be told to just F right off.
Pokemon Go fuck yourself.
Like, I don't know, I go through my timeline, I see like, look at this, I totally caught this. And then like 2 posts later, it's like, if I see you and you stop in front of me while I'm walking somewhere so you can catch a Pokemon, I will grab your phone out of your hand and destroy it. And my first response to that was like, motherfucker, you try and grab my phone and destroy it, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you over Pokemon. Think about that. You're going to have to tell the police when they come to arrest you that you tried to assault someone because they're playing Pokemon. You got the shit kicked out of you in self-defense, and you're going to go to jail for it. It's hilarious to hear people just be so super mad about it. I dig the thing too where it's like I've seen, and these are people I like, and it's weird to watch them be like, I can't fucking believe it. You're 36. You're playing Pokemon. I'm like, please go into that rant you had again last week about why My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is so good again, because you're such a mature super adult. It's just like, come on, man. Like, the one thing that we've been preaching here since day one is just don't yuck somebody's yum. You can make fun of something. You can absolutely make fun of somebody's something.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you can't just be like, don't fucking do that, you stupid dumb. And it's just like, ugh. It's so frustrating to be like, man, there are people who never exercise, who are exercising every day for the first time in their life. There are people who are depressed, who are very happy meeting strangers for the first time. There are people with social anxiety who are able to talk to people. There are agoraphobic people who are finally leaving their fucking houses. Like, how on earth is that a bad thing? Like the world we're in right now is in such a turbo fucked place. Like, can nobody have one ray of sunshine in the constant fucking shitstorm that is our lives right now?
Or let alone people discovering their towns maybe for the first time in a long time, and what's there and a part of their town and places, small businesses, and just various things that are, people are finally getting out and experiencing and seeing.
Yeah, I think it's a strong plus, man. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, it's if you don't like it, don't fucking play it.
The first experience of the actual, I think for me, I don't know if you got out before we met up in Mears that day.
Nope,
but
I didn't.
that was a blast, man.
Right?
Like, especially once we figured out how to track them.
Yeah,
like,
we were running around St. Paul looking for Pokemon,
fun.
and then like running into random people in the park and being like, "Oh yeah, there's this over here, and there's this over here," and it's like, "Oh man, someone just popped a lure. I'm gonna pop a lure, and I'm gonna sit here." And people show up, and it's like, "Oh, we're tracking this thing since the XL Energy Center. It's going this way. You guys should come with us." And it's like a big group of 20 people. Like, I just found out that there's going to be a group of like 500 people going to the Mall of America to go catch all the Pokemon in the mall because there's a ton of them in the mall.
Oh man,
it's like that's happening this weekend. It's like, that's awesome, right?
So awesome.
And you got businesses lobbying to get Pokestops in there.
Or I had tweeted it the day after. There's already a site up for businesses to offer rewards within the game to players for stopping at their establishment.
Yeah,
and I don't know how that works in there yet, or if they provided those updates, but like that is. How awesome is that?
I haven't seen anything that's actually like been done in game for any of that yet, but I have seen also on the Pokemon Go Reddit, there's just a coffee shop that says, "If you pop a lure at the Pokestop here, we'll buy your coffee for you."
It's amazing.
And it's just like, I'm like, that's pretty great actually. And they're like, because like, what does the business care? Like, oh, we'll give one $4 cup of coffee away, and we're gonna attract 50 new people here in the next 30 minutes. So like all these, like, I don't know. I feel like, sure, is it annoying to like see people aimlessly staring at their phones? Yeah, I guess if that's a problem for you. I mean, I guess it's annoying. But to tell you the truth, I wanna put this out there where I don't think Pokemon Go is the thing that started everyone aimlessly looking at their phone while they're walking around. Like, it's just like, I'm pretty sure that we've had Facebook for a long, long time on our phones. Everyone reads their news stories. Everyone is buried in their phone. This now is just that there are people who are happy while doing it. They don't just look all humdrum and alone. Like that's the like, if the problem is that people are happy and they're together with strangers while looking at their phones, if that's the problem because you want them to be all like humdrum and by themselves, like that, like you need to take a quick introspective look about why you're upset about that. If it's just because you think Pokemon is stupid, that's a totally legit, like, I don't want to play it. Pokemon's dumb as shit. And it's like, that's fine. That's totally square.
Cool.
No one can say anything to you about that.
Nope.
It's just super goofy because I think it's a lot of fun. Me and my brother went out and walked Lake Hiawatha and Lake Nokomis last night. I've gone to the lakes like 3 times in 3 days, which is more than I normally do in a whole summer. I'm just out there having fun, running into people just wandering by, and they're like, "Oh, did you see that there was a bunch of Magikarp over on that side of the lake?" And I'm like, "No, I got to get over there." And people laughing about what they're doing, having fun, like old people who don't play video games asking for advice from younger people they would never talk to. Like, it's like
we experienced that.
I feel like it's chock full of benefits, and the negatives are so minuscule that it's weird to see people have such a angered reaction to it. But all in all, if you are playing, make sure you are on Team Mystic because the other 2 teams can suck it.
Eat shit.
Blue team.
Blue team for life.
Gotta be on that blue team. On that blue team tip. Also, a couple things. So if you're new to Pokemon Go, because we were at one point in time, and now we've been playing for a week, and now we got all sorts of levels and shit. You can spin your Pokeball to get bonus experience. So when you're throwing your ball, just like swirl your finger on the screen and then throw it, and it will curve and hit the Pokemon.
Or if you're kind of impaired in a finger maybe, and your balls keep curving one way.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Exactly. On top of which, don't use your lucky eggs until you've caught a bunch of trash pokes, like 30 or 40 Weedles. I did this today and got 2 levels. You catch a ton of Weedles, get a bunch of the candy, pop an egg, evolve all of them, and you get like 12,000 experience in one go.
Damn.
So that's a quick way for you to level. And then, lastly, the Pokemon radar, when you see the things with the footsteps underneath them, that just is a kind of a vague distance away, and you're supposed to just walk in a direction and see if they move up or down your list. If they move up your list, you're moving in the generally right direction, and you'll have to specialize which way you need to go the lesser the footsteps get. And once there are no footsteps, they'll just pop up on your screen. You can catch them. So those are just
and they move around too.
They do move around.
You'll have to kind of figure that out. Don't think you're going the wrong way.
Yeah,
they may have moved on you.
They may have just ghosted on you and got out of the way. And also,
fuck you.
And also, just to put it all the way out there, if you encounter encounter a Hitmonchan, make sure you're not Rege.
Damn it.
Just make sure you're not Rege when you encounter it, because you will never catch it if you're Rege.
What's your Pokedex looking like, bro?
Oh man, I bet yours is definitely higher than mine, since you play on the like glitched Wi-Fi wandering around. Just getting the.
It's not my fault.
Getting it going.
It's not my fault.
Hey, I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm just jealous. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Pokedex is only 56.
Ooh.
So
I still got the one who got away from me, which is the Abra, but I've caught 78 of 79.
There you go. That's how you do it. The only one I haven't caught is that Beedrill, because I was like, all right, I'm done wasting Pokeballs on you when I can evolve you anyways.
I evolved his ass.
Yeah.
Just like I evolved that nice little Butterfree before I
there you go.
Came in.
That's how you do it.
Here.
Yeah. My brother got a really...
Boy, did we hop right into that?
Yeah, we did.
Holy moly.
That was how I got a Slowpoke yesterday, too, for the first time. But I'm getting pretty darn close.
So you're familiar with Ingress, the previous game,
I am, and I hated it.
And I'm not. So what is different? Because really, I've heard people are now going back to Ingress to kind of figure out maybe how some of this game works, because a lot of it's not told to you.
There's not a capturing creatures aspect to Ingress. So there's none of that in Ingress. In Ingress, it's really only the gym combat aspect and the collecting stuff aspect of like collecting the items. The Pokemon part of it is like completely new. So in Ingress, you can go and you attack these beacons, and then you get items from attacking beacons, and then you can use them to upgrade your beacons or take over other beacons, similar to how gym battles work. And basically, you just keep trying to build these kind of like futuristic pylons that, you know, attack the other team when they go through. So I'll tell you the truth, a really good friend of mine was playing Ingress for a really long time, loves it. Like whenever I was staying with them, before I moved out to California, I was staying with them while I was working on a contract gig. Every night when we'd leave the movie studio, our drive back to his house was maybe 30 minutes. We did not get home for like an hour and a half because he'd have to go in Ingress all over California. So he got me playing.
Sounds familiar.
And he got me playing. I was just like, but
Already.
it was just, I didn't really like it. It didn't have the grab the Pokemon thing does, and I don't think it was nearly as fun as the whole collecting aspect and using your creatures to battle and being able to level up creatures. There's a level of depth to it. Plus, with this and where it's going forward, especially after now that Niantic has said that they're trying to make it so that they're going to be able to update the game weekly.
Yeah. I've heard what would that be, bi-weekly?
Yeah, every other week is bi-weekly. Yeah. And then getting the features that they did not get in because they rushed the game to release. So we're missing two of the major features from the trailer, which is the announcement trailer that they had, a year and a half ago. Showed that you could trade Pokemon with people back and forth, just trade them, and that you can do individual battles, person to person. So
PvP action.
Yeah. So basically, those things will be coming. They're just not ready, but the game's going to have a lot more depth in a relatively short amount of time. So, but yeah,
I'm so go for that.
I'm so Pokemon go for that. That's the band. The band in the back doing it. Staying on video games, since there actually is some video game stuff to talk about this week. It's pretty nice to have some lead-off video game stuff. Me and some buddies played as Anna on the PTR, which is the public.
You can get into that.
Yeah,
we haven't talked about this.
The new balance changes are
amazing.
The new balance changes for Overwatch are awesome.
Yeah, Diva's like fucking unstoppable now. Well, she's a more mobile Reinhardt.
She can actually move around and fight, and her ulti isn't the most easily avoidable thing in the whole world anymore, which she desperately needed. Her ulti totally blew unless someone else held them in place for you.
Sure.
So
yeah, if you got an Izaria and Diva combo
I'll tell you the truth. I didn't think Diva needed to be buffed in any way other than her ulti being fixed, but we'll see. We didn't run into too much Diva when we were playing because a lot of the games we play on the test server were 5 Annas, 1 Reinhardt, and everyone just plugging into him and like giving him the gusto. Because I'll tell you what, when you juice him up, when you give him the roids, he can just flatline a whole team in one hammer hit.
Yes.
He just gets outrageous. Anna's a really cool character. Her poison dart.
Did you play?
Yeah. Her poison dart thing is amazing. It acts as a direct healing neutralizer to my favorite character, Roadhog, which a lot of people have been clamoring for. I know a lot of people are super pissed about his change in the patch notes because they don't think it's severe enough. But I'm on the other side of that, where I think that is just enough, because he only is short to mid range, and if you can outrange him,
yep,
he's killable. His sustain is huge. Like his ability to heal himself, of half his total health every 10 seconds is really high. But I think the idea of increasing his ulti's generation by just about 50%, so basically it takes 150% now versus where it used to just take 100% to get ulti, is great, because we actually played a game last night on competitive where we were on Temple of Anubis, and I just held the left door, and I got the ulti 5.5 times before the round ended. And we held them. So basically once every minute I was just plowing their team with an ulti. And I was like, yeah, he needs a little bit more scaling, because like they're like, oh, do you need anyone to stand on the left side with you? I was like, no. I'll cover it, and then they'll be almost all dead. And if I get hurt, I'll just wander back and heal myself. So
sure.
Anna is she's a lot of fun. She's really slow, but her sleep dart is feels like 5 seconds long. So like if you hit somebody with that little sleep dart, they're never gonna catch you. So you're gonna be gone. Right. And but her healing field's great. Like I think she's gonna be a really cool character. I think a lot of people are gonna
one-on-one, like that's being a sniper and not having the greatest of aim. That's your key component there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's your one escape.
Right.
And if you get you screw it up, you're done. But
you're out of here.
Anna's really cool. I think she's gonna be a really great addition to the roster. I think it's gonna change the balance a lot. The most impressive thing that I think for the balance changes has nothing to do with the new character or really any of the balance changes to any character in particular. I think the greatest thing in the world is that competitive is now going to be one hero only pick per team.
No stacking.
And, no more bullshit 2 Zaryas. Ugh. No more double Lucio.
2 fucking Torbjorns.
Yeah, no more Torbs all over the damn place.
That's the worst, dude.
And it's about time, because it's just a cheesy bullshit way to play.
Especially on competitive
and for a game that touts itself as using MOBA mechanics, that is the legit move of you can't do that. So I mean, if it were a MOBA, it'd be only one character in the game, period. But I'm totally cool with each team being able to have one of each. I think that's fair. I saw a post
today that people are already having to tell some other folks to kind of chill out in the lobbies, and like, hey, telling you to switch your character is not me being an asshole. Yeah. It's just like.
Well, there are people who are assholes about in competitive play about the switching character, but there are other people who are not.
Let's not just jump to that. Yeah.
That patch should be live by the end of Comic-Con, is what I understand.
For console?
Well, PC. Reed, you know how I don't care about you console crowd. PC Master Race for life.
You should care, man.
But why? I don't play on console.
Bit. I mean, we're talking, I'm kind of have an obligation to Flarker Nation.
I'm bummed for you guys who are playing on console, but I would invite you guys to come play on PC with the rest of us.
Sure.
Come on, guys and gals, let's do it.
We're trying.
Well, we'll see out there eventually. You know what else we saw out there? Well, at least I saw out there this last weekend. I finally finished Firewatch.
I finished it a few weeks ago, so I'm fresh off of the finish.
I played it basically start to finish. I just played the whole thing.
What a tasty game.
It's kind of a lovely little game with Hank and Delilah. Don't call me Hank, call me Henry. Just kind of a nice...
Voiced by Mad Men actor... what's his name? The guy in the glasses.
Oh, I don't know Mad Men. I've never watched it.
Oh,
ever.
Never mind then.
But I thought it was a lot of fun. I hit the The opening of Firewatch is probably like the most hard-hitting part of the whole game for me, is like living him and his wife's whole relationship, and then her. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Ooh, you caught it before this time.
I know, right?
I'm proud of you, man.
I did it. I did that for Pete. Did it for young Petey. You find out that she has dementia and early onset Alzheimer's disease, and she's starting to forget who he is. And basically he can't handle it because the person he loves more than anything in the world thinks he's a stranger most of the time. So he starts drinking heavily, and then it becomes an issue because she has an episode while he's out drinking, and her family takes her, and he basically takes this job because his life is totally in disarray and he doesn't know what to do with himself. And it's just a crazy opening to a game to have it start like that, and then just having this really neat overall story and having him get close to Delilah, and then in the end to have Delilah just totally fuck him over too.
Yeah,
is pretty brutal.
Oh, that stung.
Yeah,
that stung.
It was pretty shitty. But I knew as soon as she's like, I'll stay for the helicopter. I'm like, she's not staying. You can hear it in her voice. She's not staying. And then, and the whole like finding the dead kid's body, and like it's just a neat, like, it doesn't really feel like a game so much as it felt like a neat kind of like interactive movie, so to speak.
Yeah, and it felt very almost Until Dawn without the survival. Like you're playing a movie.
Yep.
You know?
Well, yeah, because Until Dawn had more
choices you're making, and everything's gonna happen for a reason.
Right. Yeah, because like Until Dawn had a lot more gaming aspect to it than this does.
Yeah.
This like will just like drop you, and you can go wander around and find a bunch of different service boxes if you want to, you know.
Sure.
And I was like, this is really pretty great,
which
actually.
I did not do yet.
So like I found like the service boxes and like the ropes and all like the flashlight crap, and like right away, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then it's just a really nice, lovely game. It'll end up being super cheap at the next Steam sale or the next like PlayStation sale or whatever.
Be like a $7 or $8 game coming out soon.
I would definitely say pick it up. There are actually at least 2 games that I'm going to buy this week that actually came out on Tuesday. I'm buying Necropolis for sure.
I've heard it's not so good. I've read.
Obviously I don't know, but I'm totally going to buy it. And then I'm also going to buy Song of the Deep for sure.
That's the submarine.
It's the Metroid with the submarine made by Insomniac, the dudes who made Ratchet and Clank. It just sounds awesome. Everything about it sounds great.
It looks awesome.
And I'm kind of torn. I'm on the fence, but I kind of want to buy Anarcute, which is a game it's about rioting and protesting as like bunnies in this cute city, and basically just rampage over a city. Yeah, I'm serious.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it sounds kind of neat. And I was like, I gotta figure out if I'm gonna buy this or not. But those are my.
Is there a demo? Can I try this before I buy this?
Those are my potential. It's $15, and like your little like bunnies and little cute crocodiles.
Okay.
And you're like fighting back against an evil corporation. The way they compared it was that it was Katamari and Jet Grind Radio together. And I love both of those games, so I feel like I'm probably going to get in there. And it was a world finalist in like the Game Jam this last year. So,
well, then get in there and get you some.
I'll see what I can do. It looks kind of neat. It looks kind of funky in one of those weird kind of games.
Yeah.
I'm a little saddened by the idea of like the whole thing with Necropolis, but apparently I just clicked on the Steam link. The reviews are mixed about it, so there's a lot of thumbs up and a lot of thumbs downs. But it's too bad because most of the reviews right off the top of the list are all negative. I'll end up having to read them later, but I'll probably still end up getting it.
See, you see what I do for you?
I'm still gonna get it because it looks awesome, and I bet I'll have a lot of fun with it.
No, I gotta hop in.
I love dungeon crawlers, and they're like the fact they're like, it's like Dark Souls, and it's a roguelite, and it's a dungeon crawler. I'm like, those are all 3 things that I like to hear.
Yeah, you love those.
I did start playing Salt and Sanctuary a little bit though. I like it. I got to the first
feelings.
To the first boss, and I got totally stroked.
So I've heard it's the Bloodborne of 2D side scrollers.
Yeah, so I gotta get my combat up a little bit more, but I like it. I like it thus far. I think it's not bad. Right. It's not bad.
Nice.
I'll tell you what I think is bad. If you want to move on, unless you got video game stuff you want to talk about.
No, of course I do.
Well, then let it rip, baby. You tell me.
Well, there's this weird thing because I'm flipped between two consoles right now. Obviously, I've got Limbo that I'm playing on PS4 prior to playing. Right. Well, but prior to playing Inside on Xbox, because that's been all the rave right now.
I don't know what that is.
Everybody's like, you got to play Inside. Got to play Inside. But Limbo was the game they made before Inside, correct?
Yeah, Limbo's the first one. Same company. So yeah.
Right.
I do want to put it out there and say, are you sure they're not just people on the street telling you that you need to play Inside?
Right. Go back in your home.
Just another little brum.
Yeah. There's the band.
I mean, I just looked at the Metacritic for Inside, 92%, IGN 10 out of 10. But you know what? Let's be real with everyone. No one gives a shit about IGN's rating. They're bought and sold. Like 10 out of 10 doesn't mean shit as far as how that works.
But they don't give 10s.
It's true.
The last 10 they gave a game they gave a 10 to was The Witness, I believe. Yeah, I don't think there was anything in between The Witness and this one.
And you love The Witness.
I love and I'm still not even done with The Witness. That game is so much fun to have and go back to, and oh man, great puzzles. But yeah, anyways, everybody's telling me to play Inside, so anyways, I wanted to go back and play, at least get a little bit of the problem solving that they had, kind of put out there in the first game, so I knew what I was getting myself into. So I'm playing Limbo right now on PS4. Started Banner Saga, but haven't gotten anywhere yet. But then grabbed Banner Saga 2 on Xbox because it was free for the games of Gold last month. So I'm like, I'm in this hopping back and forth between consoles right now, playing shit. And I need to start up my Overwatch rank play on Xbox so I can go back and get re-ranked, even though I did it on PlayStation already.
Mm-hmm. You got a lot to do. There. You got a lot to do, man.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, but I had beaten so many games over the past 2 weeks. The Last of Us, which, everybody and their mom has probably beaten that shit. And wow, did that game take a piece of me with it when it ended. Holy moly.
I haven't played The Last of Us. I still have it.
What?
Yeah, no, I haven't. But I'll tell you what I do know. I was watching a We Culture is the website. They do like listicles, like like how I do, but not as good as I do them. When I do them,
when,
and they're like top 10 video games where the hero turned out to be a villain, and number 1 is Joel.
Yep.
And the whole thing about him making up the cure and like putting a bullet in the person who helps you for most of the game.
Yep.
And
dog, you don't even know.
Yeah, no, I clearly don't know, but I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. But
it's amazing, yeah.
Another game for you to look out for comes out in 2 weeks. Is We Happy Few finally comes out, and that looks dope.
Oh yeah, on Xbox, right?
I believe it's on PC as well. So I think we both know.
Yeah, Xbox and PC.
I think we both know where I'm gonna snatch it up. But
the very Clockwork Orange-y looking.
Yeah, the retro future. Everyone's on drugs to be happy. That comes out in 2 weeks, and then eventually
he stopped taking his joy.
And then eventually Cuphead comes out, which I've been waiting for since they announced it 2 years ago. Which is that side-scrolling platformer that looks like a 40s cartoon, 40s or 50s cartoon.
Okay.
It's crazy. It looks like you're just like in an old era cartoon. It's nuts. So yeah,
looks pretty sweet.
It does look pretty.
Well, can we real quick touch on No Man's Sky? I'm a little worried about this.
It's coming out at the end of the month, or at the beginning of August. It's gonna come.
I know, but did you see or hear or read about the file size?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it's like that.
Really?
Not at all.
So tell me why.
Because
then.
everything's procedurally generated. It doesn't have to have large file size.
Well, hang on. And for those of you not knowing, this game and what it almost endless and infinite amounts of things to be discovered, animals, planets, things, on a disc, which is what 6.7 gigs.
It's 7 gigs
and the
total.
Majority of it is
it's 7 gigs
audio?
total, and most of it is audio.
So, again, I mean, I'm willing to hear anything out. What is the reasoning you are okay or kind of figured this?
No, it's because it's all procedurally generated. They don't need to.
Okay.
They're not building 30 different locations, and each of them having their own texture maps and everything like that. They have a certain set of assets, and those assets are rearranged and rebuilt and reused and retextured and moved in a procedurally generated way to create an entire universe. So they don't need a ton of...
So it's going to be the same boring game that I thought it's going to be, and no matter how many planets and things there are, you're going to keep visiting the same shit redone
because
over and over
because
and over
the thing is that when it's built with the voxels and everything, it's going to look different, and it's going to feel different, and the animals are going to act different. Because all the stuff that they're inputting in there, since they are procedurally generated, they don't need to have a ton of high-end material to make it work. It's not like Doom where every single monster is completely different and modeled in completely different and textured completely differently and need to have 20 different versions of it for when you blow it up or when you do something like that. In No Man's Sky, they kept the graphics relatively simple. They look good, but in that same way that Firewatch is simple but looks good, that's how No Man's Sky looks. Because Firewatch is tiny as well, and that's a huge map.
Yes.
You know, that's a tiny game.
That is a damn big map. Yeah,
so,
you're right.
I mean, when it comes down to it, it's just that they're smart. They're using voxel-based technology. They're probably using Vulkan for all the engine stuff. And then on top of that, they're procedurally generating a whole universe on top of the ships and the battle. I think you're going to be so damn impressed that your mind is going to be blown out of your head by how they can fit so much into something so small. Because every single person in the gaming industry who matters, who's played this, is fucking floored by it. It's crazy. Crazy.
I hope I'm wrong.
So yeah, I mean, I hope you're wrong too. I feel like you're gonna be wrong.
I'm skeptical. I don't think for I'm not like solidified in my opinion of that. Like I just have this kind of feeling like it's just not gonna live up to the hype.
Well, I mean, I feel like the hype is super high, but man, it's hard. Like I can't. That's one of those things where you can't really. I don't really know how you can really say it to anyone. Because, you know, it's like, I don't think it's going to live up to the hype. Like, well, if you're already resigned to that, I don't think it can. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if that's the right way to say that. But I feel like if someone's already gotten to the point where like, I don't think it's going to work, they're just kind of like, then you're already kind of resigning yourself to it. But I don't know. I think it's going to be awesome. It's still one of my most anticipated, and I'm scared. Yes. I'm scared of playing, like, I'm scared of all of these open-ended games that are coming that just like require me to just keep playing them. Yeah, because I've only got so much time.
Well, and that's kind of where this one seems like, though, is it's either going to be, and that's all that I mean, I guess, by that kind of, like, not living up to the hype. I don't think I'm so set in that. I just mean there's not a lot of middle ground. It seems like it's going to be, like, similar to the music scene, you know, a great album that, you know, is like everybody's just, for 3 to 4 weeks, you know, that's all everybody's talking about. And then it either dies down and it's nothing, or, you know, a year, 2 years later, everybody's still talking about, you know, so-and-so. So,
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I mean, that's a very legitimate viewpoint to take on that. I can feel you on that one. I can definitely see where you're coming from in that regard. I feel like the thing about No Man's Sky is people are going to make their entire YouTube streaming careers on it. That's how I feel about it.
That's a fact.
You know,
yeah.
I feel like people are going to make a lot of money streaming that game. I hope to be one of them.
They probably are.
So,
hey, you heard it here
snapping
first.
fingers and pointing them out there, which I'm actually starting Monday. I'm going to start scheduling a block of time again to stream every night, and we'll push to make that something more prevalent. because we're both streaming on the Rhymesayers team this year for charity.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do at least one 24-hour period where all I do is stream. And Mara's probably not gonna be too excited about that because that means I'm gonna shirk all my fatherly duties to try and raise money for charity. But it's gonna be something that I do. But to veer us back on,
you're doing it for kids.
To veer us back, she's like, "But why aren't you doing it for your kids?" To veer us
legit point.
To veer us back into the territory that we have outlined, because we're super legit here. We outline these podcasts. It doesn't feel like it because we like to talk about lots of stuff. And this week there was just lots of cool video game stuff to talk about. So we're gonna veer back in and do like some quick hits for you. First being that Fox has canceled the Hellfire Club show.
Yes.
They canceled it before they even got it out the gates, giving Fox a new world record of canceling a show almost immediately after greenlighting it. And
I'm okay with it.
Here's my thoughts on it. They're starting a new show about a mother and father protecting their mutant child from a shadowy government organization. I was like, okay, that sounds fine. That sounds like a weird thing to put out there. I'm saying that we'll see Legion also get canceled.
Oh, for sure.
And let me tell you what I think that signals. I think Hellfire Club being canceled and Legion being canceled are because those characters are big hits in the X-Men universe. They take a big part of big storylines. And with the rumors swirling around that Fox and Marvel are going to come together, I believe a large portion of that is Marvel says those things have to go because we want creative control on those things to use them in your new X-Men universe, and we don't want you wasting them.
Well, and even more so playing into that, what came out in the previews for October and what has not a single title in there.
Right.
Is an X title. There's no X
No X titles, but we did get Gwen Stacy and Miles kissing, though.
Yeah, we got that.
Got Gwen, Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man getting together.
There looks like a whole bunch of awesome shit coming out. But to your point, though, of this thing kind of, I mean, shit, man, we've been talking about it since with Fantastic
Fantastic.
I don't know how you pronounce that movie with the horror.
Well, it's Fantastic Four.
That movie.
Fantastic Four.
Aye.
Yeah.
No, the dirty fox fuckers are finally realizing, and if they didn't realize, Marvel's like, oh, well, okay, well, we'll just make them null and void.
Yeah. And I think Fox is like, all right, fine. And plus I think Fox really does want to get to the table with Marvel about it because Sony is just in such an upswing now, and Sony was hanging on for dear life.
Oh,
you know? So it's like, oh, it fucking works. It fucking works. It works. Just let them do it.
So they got one new one replacing the Hellfire one.
Right, an untitled, like, family on the run from the government kind of thing.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's who cares? That could be any dumb thing ever that can fit in the universe without any trouble. Yes, they can modify that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But Hellfire Club had to go because, I mean, you're gonna waste the White Queen on TV?
And Sebastian and brain farts all over. Whatever.
Mastermind?
Either way, yeah. I mean, run down the list. Yeah. Let me grab the encyclopedia. I mean, come on.
Just the three big ones alone. Mastermind, Emma Frost, and Sebastian Shaw. All big hitters in the X-Men universe.
You can't do that on TV.
Yeah, you can't waste that on TV. And then it also seems like there's just more and more leeway coming away in this whole Fox and Marvel thing because out of nowhere we found out that the fucking Skrulls are co-owned.
Oh.
Right? Because
well, yeah.
Or well,
it depends on which headline you read.
It depends on who you talk to, really. James Gunn says they're co-owned.
If you saw the day that James Gunn had tweeted it, you would understand it within its full context.
Yeah, well, some Skrulls you can't use, some Skrulls we can use. I'm assuming that means that they just can't use Super Skrull.
Super Skrull, yes, I would assume.
And because I'm like, that makes sense because he's primarily a Fantastic Four villain. That makes perfect sense. and I get that. I just thought all of them were off limits all the time. Like, because otherwise I would have fucking used the Skrulls.
But hold on, Adam. Hold on. That's not all. Breaking news. The Skrulls, James Gunn says the Skrulls could appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right. There's another one. There's another one of those beautiful ways of internet reporting of just James Gunn said they could. It's like, well, he said they're co-owned. Like, so I mean, yeah, technically in the vaguest and broadest terms, yes, they potentially could show up. So great there.
Great. Yes.
To like circle back to the comic book stuff that you're talking about with the October cover orders.
Yeah.
How about Riri, dude?
Riri.
You know, I thought.
Well, and I think it came out today, didn't it?
Yeah.
Civil War number 3.
Yep. Big things happened in Civil War number 3 today.
Big things.
Big things.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read any of this. I started on double zero today.
I want to disclose it on the podcast, but I feel like I'm not going to do it for you, man.
I'm
gonna not do it for you.
Thank you.
But big things happen.
I mean, it took a lot to get the other spoiler out of me.
Yeah, it's a big things happen. But you know, it was crazy because like on the whole United We Stand, Divided We Fall posters, it looked like Riri was going to be the new War Machine, and
it did.
And she's not.
Thinking back at that,
so apparently that's just her junk suit that she makes, and that she ends up taking over for Tony. And so the new Iron Man is an Iron Woman, and cue the racists and cue the sexists. Yep. They're coming together in a glorious symphony of Iron Man can't be a woman. And
fucking childhood, man.
And she can't be black. And I'm not racist, but I just don't think Iron Man should be a black person. Like, I don't know, dude. I feel that sounds kind of racist. It just sounds kind of racist. I guess under like the terminology, yes, Iron Man can't be a woman. But that it depends on like how your usage of labels and how you fucking. If you're beholden specifically to like terminology like that, you're a fucking dork.
Yeah. Well, it's like what they did with Thor, and in one panel they changed that shit. As soon as Jane Foster grabbed that hammer, man, that H was gone, and there was a not gone, but the S went right before that H.
Yeah, and it's just like.
But now it's more of now if you look on I forget the name of his axe. Shit, what is it? I know it too. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Damn it. Anyways, it's it's Stormbreaker, isn't it?
It looks like Stormbreaker. It looks like Stormbreaker. It looks like it's fucking Beta Ray Bill's hammer. But I think it's
a singular they.
It's the old Valhalla hammer from like the early 80s and early 90s that he was using.
But the inscription is now a singular they.
Yeah. To touch on the comic shit.
I'm okay.
I gotta touch on the comic shit because it's kind of bumming. It's kind of bumming me out.
Touch it.
I don't want 2 Hulks, 2 Spider-Men, 2 Iron Mans, 2 Thors.
That's the way it's going, isn't it?
There's 2 of everybody. There's 2 fucking Wolverines now. There's Logan and X-23 is Wolverine.
Old man Logan and Wolverine.
They're 2 Wolverine. Like there's 2 of everyone who matters.
It's 2 Hulks. Yeah, yeah. There's Cap, Falcon.
Well, I mean, shit. There's 2 Hawkeyes with Kate Bishop and fucking Clint running around too. How long till Janet comes back and there are 2 Wasps? How long till Hank decides that he's done being half Ultron and there's two Ant-Men running around?
Come on.
Like, I get it. Like, I think it's neat. I thought it was neat to have so many spider people survive the great cataclysm and have Miles and Peter running around in the same universe. I don't think it's a good idea to push it the whole way. And the 2 Iron Men that we're talking about are not Riri Williams and Tony Stark. It's Riri Williams and Victor Von Doom. That's right. Dr. Doom is the new Iron Man. Which
the infamous?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're gonna do it the same way, like in the same kind of vein that when Otto Octavius took over Pete's body and he became the superior Spider-Man. I do like the idea of the Riri being the invincible Iron Man and then the infamous Iron Man. And then,
isn't it though? Because that was entirely with the that universe still thinking it was Peter Parker.
Right.
We were the only ones knowing.
Right. I think it's going to be different. It's going to feel different, but his methods are going to be more brutal. They are.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Victor has never been one to tiptoe through the tulips with anyone about anything. So,
no, I mean, especially that time he took on the Beyonders.
You know, this is what I want to turn over to the crowd here. How do you guys feel about Marvel basically doubling up on every one of their major heroes? If you like it, let us know. If you don't like it, let us know. Or if you're like, I don't read comics, I listen to this podcast solely to get my superhero news from you guys, then we're like, hey, thumbs up, tell a bunch more people that don't know anything about superhero to go to Mother Flarker, and then, grow our beautiful audience base. Also, thank you so much to everyone who, like the 25 new people who like our Facebook page that happened over the last episode. We really appreciate you guys joining in the crowd, and we also say thank you to the old listeners for helping boost the profile.
Thank you.
Moving right along, the Russos, everyone's favorite directing duo, the greatest motherfuckers on the planet, as it seems. They want to take one of my favorite campy movies from the 70s, because you know how much I love, B movies from the 70s and horror movies from the 80s. They want to take The Warriors and turn it into a TV show.
Okay, so I saw you had added this, and I'm like, what in the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, the Russos...
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, the Russos want to adapt the classic Saul Urich book-turned-film, The Warriors, into a television series, which sounds awesome. I don't really know... I don't really know how you can stretch out, like, their trip from Central Park to Coney Island into, like, an 11-episode season, but I'll tell you what, I've got faith in the Russos to do it.
It's true. It's
just
true.
like, I don't know. I don't really give a shit. Like, they'll get it.
You hire a bunch of writers to somehow expand that story.
Yeah, they'll get it all worked out.
A little more.
And then we'll be in luck, and I think that's super badass. I know a lot of people were like, fuck that. And I was like, I get it. Everyone loves the Warriors for their own reasons. Some people grew up in the era. Like, my dad loves that movie. He's like, it's so campy and so crazy. Games aren't even like that. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm like, I don't know anything about that shit because I wasn't alive until like years after it was already out. But I was like, but I love it because it's so awesome.
Right.
And but I think with the team that they're going to put behind it, they could make something amazing out of that. Could just make something really, really, really great. And so, best of luck to
kind of needs to. I think that kind of a film could, use a little resurgence back in this day.
Use a little polish, a little updating, So yeah, no, that makes sense. Reed, have you seen these photos from the filming of Flash? Have you seen these things?
Talking about Kid Flash?
I'm not talking about just Kid Flash. I'm talking about Kid Flash and the other guy.
I have not seen the
other guy.
You've not
seen the other guy. All right, well, There's another speedster in the photos with Kid Flash in an all-black suit with gargoyle lightning bolts on the side of his head. Does not look like Zoom. Has the open mouth. Basically, it's like a black Flash suit with, instead of the circular, it's a giant, veiny, orange lightning bolt down the chest. Basically, what I'm saying is it's a dude who looks exactly like the Black Racer.
Okay.
And, everyone was kind of theorizing that Zoom was going to become the Black Racer at the end of season 2 because of the time wraiths kind of ripping his soul apart, and him going back to the Speed Force. Basically, in the DC universe, the Black Racer is like the Grim Reaper of the DC universe. Like, he can touch you and you're dead. Like, he touches you once, you're dead. You're gone. And he kind of carries out, like, the correction of timelines, which makes a lot of sense for the Flashpoint storyline, since Barry decided to fuck it up. And so they're showing him, but there are a lot of people who are...
Wow, he almost looks Ultron-ish at times, I'm saying.
Yeah, there are also people who are saying that he looks a lot more like Joe West Jr. in the alternate timeline for Flashpoint, who becomes the alternate universe Reverse Flash. So, which makes a lot of sense, because in the reports, everyone, and the pictures, they're saying it looks a lot like Tom Cavanaugh is in the uniform, which makes sense because, he was Reverse Flash in season 1, and it makes a great way to get Harrison Wells back into the show again.
For a third.
So if it's alternate universe Reverse Flash, that's cool. I just hope he's not the big bad. I was kind of actually hoping for a season where we didn't have a speedster as the main villain. It's getting a little old to have him face someone who's just a little bit faster than him, and he's just got to get a little bit faster by the end of the season. And I didn't want 3 years of it, but I'll take it if it's the Black Racer. I'm not as excited about it if it's Reverse Flash, because Black Racer poses a lot of intriguing challenges, considering, you know, Barry has to be able to hit him and not get hit. So it's a very different type of being fast. But I will say that showing Wally in the yellow and red, he looks perfect as Kid Flash. He looks just like Kid Flash.
Yes,
it looks
he
great.
Does. He looks awesome.
So I'm way into that. I think that's really
I've
really
been
fantastic.
into this show since season 1, man. It looks awesome, and I cannot wait for Flashpoint, or their interpretation of Flashpoint.
Yeah,
I guess because
I think it's gonna be great.
You know, what's his name? Grant has been very voicey, I guess,
adamant
about how very adamant about how they're going to do their version of Flashpoint, and it is not going to be what we know from the comics.
Hey, I'm into that. I'm totally into that. I'm into wherever they want to go with that show. I think Greg Berlanti has done a great job with the Flash. I don't think he's doing such a great job with Arrow, which is why I don't watch it, but I feel like he's going to have a lot of control with Spur Girl when she comes over to the CW. And then eventually, when the Constantine gets its reorder and repick up, because lo and behold, you started watching Constantine, and now it's not so much a joke about me being sad that Constantine's canceled as you got to realize personally that Constantine is pretty fucking sweet, actually.
He's right, you guys. He's,
Like, Constantine is that show. Constantine's that show you're like, how is this canceled?
How? Like, I want to know. Well, I want, how it was canceled, but how with as well as it was done, how did it get, like, how did you not put out more than 13 episodes?
Yeah, it's a 13 episode season. After they got their back what? 8, they got their back 8
You spent
cut.
that much money on 13 episodes just to cancel it?
Right. It's just like, holy shit, and it's so good. And then, you know, it's just such a bummer with the cliffhanger. It's a bummer. But
yeah, and I'm not
there. Yeah, no, so I just said the
so.
cliffhanger. But I'm catching all of them tonight for your sake.
Yeah, well, and like I had said to you, you know, it's on CW Seed now. So I wonder if that is any sort of kind of, you know, hey.
We can hope and dream.
Hey.
We can hope and we can dream that that's the case.
Because, well, and I don't know. I mean, or is that just some kind of relation to, does NBC have something with
they don't own anything to do with
CW,
the Seed. They only own part of Hulu, which, you know.
So
something's a brewing. Man. Plus, the rights to it have lapsed since NBC has canceled it. It's been over a year since
they
that.
Grabbed it. I'm telling you, man. We can hope.
I'm hoping and dreaming.
They swooped in on that.
I'm hoping and dreaming because the CW also said that no more DC shows, but they also said no Superman and Supergirl. They also said no Flashpoint. They also said no more more crossovers between the shows.
Sure,
so basically, everything they said has been a lie.
Smoke screens everywhere.
So one can dream. One can dream that it's going to happen. Oh, man. So we were super wrong, dude, about who Mads Mikkelsen is.
Oh, well, yeah, but no. I mean, nobody was really...
Well, right. I mean, nobody was...
Like, that's him for sure.
Well, right. Nobody was right at all. But, I mean, you know, I felt...
But, yeah, I mean, as far as speculation goes, like, whoa, who?
But, yeah... So basically, they revealed his name in the comic, the prequel lead-up comic. It's he's Caecilius.
Yeah. Going to Doctor Strange. Everyone
we're now transferring across the lines.
Yes. Doctor Strange movie coming out. Main villain here.
Yeah. So Mads Mikkelsen is now not now. He always has been, but he's a character named Caecilius, who in the comics is actually kind of just a thug or a lackey of Baron Mordo.
Something.
But it looks like
a nobody.
In this new universe, they're switching him around, giving him a little bit of a deeper backstory and bigger role to play. So he's one of the Master of the Arcane Arts, was what Doctor Strange is aspiring to be. And basically his methods are just frowned upon by the Ancient One and by Wong and by Daniel Drum, who is the brother of Brother Voodoo, which apparently Daniel Drum has been spotted on set, which means we are only probably 2 or 3 movies away from Brother Voodoo being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is kind of awesome. So that's super dope as a giant speculation. That right there is me doing what internet reporting does by just deciding that that's the thing that's going to be. But since apparently that shit has just been working, I'm going to go ahead and just jump on the train and say that Brother Voodoo's coming. But
there you go.
So they're taking elements of Baron Mordo's character and rolling him into Caecilius, which means that I think, and we'll just see when this movie comes out. We'll put a pin in this as an idea. But my thoughts on this whole thing is Baron Mordo isn't a bad guy in this movie until the end. Caecilius.
He's gonna. Yeah, they flipped it. They flipped it around.
So
he's gonna be Caecilius is gonna be the bad guy, and then Baron is gonna, by the end of it, like end up kind of working towards his way to bad.
Yeah, and Baron Mordo basically gets a taste of Dormammu's power, and switches teams, and that's gonna be our lead into Doctor Strange 2. Is that this guy who's helped train him and who he considers a friend is now evil.
Yep.
And I'm for it. I'm all for it. Which means that Mads is probably going to get killed.
Yeah.
He's going to get Marvel.
Well, I mean, if Stephen Strange is to walk out of the movie alive, I would.
Yeah, he's gonna have to kill Caecilius, which, unfortunately that sucks because Mads Mikkelsen is a dope actor and it'd be great to keep him around. But he's gonna be busy anyways. He's in Rogue Story. He's in everything.
Yes,
he's in a million things.
To sidetrack just with weird European looking dudes, real quick. How awesome is it that Javier, what's his name, is gonna be our Frankenstein?
Javier Bardem playing Frankenstein's monster. Yeah,
man.
It's gonna be pretty sweet.
Oh man,
it's gonna be pretty sweet. And then who are they trying to get as the Wolfman again?
I don't know.
It's The Rock,
I'm just so geeked on.
I think it's
because Javier, that dude is creepy as fuck.
I think it's The Rock is who they want to be the Wolfman.
That's okay. I'm okay with that. He's brolic enough for it.
He is big.
He's huge.
Yeah, it's right now they're saying it's gonna be The Rock as the Wolfman. Yep.
I'm with that. His head kind of has that triangle shape to it too.
The Rock can be anyone in anything.
Fangs,
I'll tell you what, I think it's a bummer that he chose DC Comics. I mean, he's perfect to play Black Adam.
Dude, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, are you...
But, I mean...
Could you...
I would love to have him be part of the Marvel Universe.
As I would, too, but to see the perfect embodiment of Black Adam and or,
I mean, who are they going to get to play Shazam?
Marvel. Shazam, yeah.
It's a tough pill to swallow to watch someone so awesome as Black Adam and have Shazam be kind of lame.
Yeah.
But
it'd be awesome if Rock had a twin brother who wasn't like identical twin. Just looked a little different.
The Rock and Rock 2.
Who was just as professional and
just as good. Oh man.
Damn.
Why didn't we clone The Rock? Why didn't we fucking clone The Rock?
Clone him?
Oh man. I feel like Shazam could end up being pretty lame as a movie, but not nearly as lame as what we're going to end the podcast with. I kept this to the very end because I am so excited to talk about this. My God, it's so fucking bunk.
Just giddy as a school child.
So the folks over at the Asylum, who oddly enough, when I first got out of film school and I had made my first feature, we had pitched our movie to them and they were potential interest in buying it. This is before they were just a schlock reboot, remake. And not even like remake, it's like shitty ripoff. In like when you go to the movie store and it's like Transformers came out in theaters, they're the guys who make Transmorphers. That's who the Asylum that's who the Asylum is. They're also, you know what they're most famous for now is they have 3 massive movie successes under their belt though. And they're the only 3 movies in their entire repertoire that are straight up original IP, oddly enough. And that's Sharknado, Sharknado 2, and Sharknado 3, which are all awesome. But the movie that they have coming out, their latest, can we call it a rip boot? Can we coin the term rip boot?
No, I don't know. It's just I don't even know what to call it, man.
For a long time, I thought Transmorphers would be the worst one, and then they made Snakes on a Train, which is amazing as an idea.
That's bad.
And then this new one, The Sinister Squad. And there's a trailer out, and we will most certainly include the trailer in the liner notes. And basically, they catch Rumpelstiltskin, who's their Joker. And he's wanted by some guys called Death's Messengers. So these guys who look like ninjas with machine guns, but not like ninjas in the good sense. Ninjas in like the disposable ninjas from the original Mortal Kombat movie sense.
Yeah, in a Darth Maul uniform.
Yeah. Basically, they rented a bunch of Darth Maul costumes and like make them kind of look like the ninjas from Mortal Kombat, the movie, and then we'll get this taken care of. But we only have enough money for 10 costumes at once, so we can't have more than 10 people on the screen.
And like 3 ninjas max.
Oh my god, 3 ninjas max sounds like the best ending to the 3 Ninjas series. You know, there's like 3 ninjas kick back, 3 ninjas whatever mountain with Hulk Hogan, and then 3 ninjas max.
Bro, you just handed out ideas.
Dude, it happens, man. 3 ninjas max. We pick up the story now that they're all like 40 and have their own kids.
Let's do it. We got to start.
We got to just start making these movies.
We get done with the podcast.
I mean, we just start making fake trailers and put them up on the website. But basically, there's like, what are all these dumb characters? The big bad wolf, who's supposed to be like their killer croc.
Yep.
Or is it the...
you got a guy who throws
Bluebeard, whose knives make him stronger every time he kills someone.
Yep.
And then...
Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts, who apparently can do what the Scarlet Witch does.
Yep.
And Cannibal Witch.
Yep.
Who's like an evil witch. And then some lady who's supposed to be like white Amanda Waller, but also Harley Quinn.
I don't even.
But then, like, watching like the guy who's Rumpelstiltskin be like, "That death's messengers coming to kill you all." I'm like, oh my god, is this dude which Joker is he trying to do? Just like
all of them,
every single one of them. It'd be great if he's just like, "Death messengers are coming to kill us. Do you know how I got these scars?" And just
blatant line rip-offs.
You never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. I'm not a bad guy. And then have him kind of like shift into Jack Nicholson, where just will get a load of me. Whoop.
No shit.
This town needs an enema. I know a lot of the Joker lines. I think I know probably all of them from Jack Nicholson and the Heath Ledger one for the most part. But please, I implore you to go watch Sinister Squad's trailer. Your mind will be blown by how little money they have to make that movie. It's insane. Yeah. And they have just clearly the 2 locations, the like warehouse district and then the warehouse.
At least
and then
2.
The warehouse attached to the empty train yard.
There's the warehouse and surrounding area.
They had to like look around like, all right, we'll just fucking shoot a scene here and shoot a scene here, and then just don't shoot at the building, so that way we can use the building as the only other place. Please, please, please watch this trailer. It's so bad. If you love it, I have to know why, if you like it. And not in one of those like dumb hipster irony kind of ways. Like if you legitimately are like, I'm excited for this movie, then I'm super down. But if you're into it only because it's so bad it's good, I already know how that works, and I'll probably watch it for the same reasons, which makes me watch it for dumb hipster irony reasons too.
Twice.
But so yeah, I mean that's gonna be do it for this action-packed episode. We talked about a lot of shit in an hour this time.
Yeah, we did. Well, there was a lot of shit that happened.
Ric Flair woos out here, out in these streets, dropping Ric Flair woos.
Out in these streets, catching them Pokemons. Yeah, man. So to end it all, go play Pokemon Go. Go play Firewatch. Go play Limbo. Go play Inside. Maybe not play Necropolis. Maybe you do play Song of the Deep, and maybe you play Anarcute, and you pre-order We Happy Few. You watch the trailer for Sinister Squad, you read the comics about Riri Williams, you get excited for the Russos to adapt it, you're happy that Hellfire Club is canceled, maybe that is the Black Racer, and Mads Mikkelsen is Caecilius. The Skrulls are co-owned. This has been the Best Flarking Podcast. Go to motherflarker.com. For the Mr. Robot premiere tonight.
Oh yeah, I don't watch that show, but lots of people are excited. I heard it's very good.
So good.
I hear it's very good. But yeah,
so good.
Make sure you go to motherflarker.com. You can look at all of our cool stuff, the shows and everything, and we're going to start getting written stuff up there in the very, very near future. So it's definitely the place to go to look at all the stuff. You can subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on SoundCloud. You really should do them both just to do us the solid, because iTunes is super weird. So we'll get all nuts and bolts with you about how the show works. iTunes is super weird about how it handles subscribers. So we never know if you're subscribed on there or if you're not, or if you're even using it, really. So subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on SoundCloud or in your podcasting app of choice, because we're actually in almost all of them now. So however you want to do it, subscribe to us on there. Or if you really want to do us a solid, just go to Mother Flarker and just listen straight from the browser. But it's going to be easier for you if you just do the SoundCloud thing and the iTunes thing and the Google Play thing. It's just probably a lot easier for you to do that. So, but yeah, go to motherflarker.com. We have been the hosts. You guys have been great. We have been just a teeny bit better.
Just a wee bit.
And we will see you next time for episode 30. Oh, holy shit. I forgot to say this. As of yesterday, man. We've been doing this a year.
Good thing.
We've been doing this a year as of yesterday.
Whoa.
So, you know,
hey,
hats off to us on something we never thought was going to just be more than just kind of fun and maybe fall off after a couple episodes. But we stuck with it, and we fucking love you guys, and we love that you listen to us ramble on about the shit that, you know, people on Facebook are like, you're too old to like that. It's like, shut up.
You damn grown-ass kids.
Shut up. You can't go to the malt shop anymore. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, man. So thank you so much for letting us talk at you guys for a year and be one of the radio shows that live in your phone. So again, thank you so much. Motherflarker.com. He's Reej. I'm Dunners. We're out of here.
Peace.